on day 12 of the 14 days quarantine workout. Today we're going to focus on single side, which is something that I usually do because I have a slight scoliotic spine. So single side, essentially you only work one side at a time. It gives you an indication if one side is stronger than the other. And for folks with scoliosis or muscle imbalances like me, it really gives a chance for the weaker side to turn on and start working because the other side is not going to assist you. Camel head bend, single leg coordination, obliques side kick, all fours arm rotation, single leg march, side frog squat. We're going to start the first exercise seated with your legs open really wide. Okay, so if you can, you're going to point your toes at the corner of the two mats, sitting up straight. From the side view, you must be able to sit up tall and straight. So in the event that you find that you can't sit tall, then it is okay to have a slight bend of the knees or bring your feet a little bit closer. But make sure the knees don't flop inward, so your knees are still turning out and your feet grounded on the, or your feet flat grounded on the floor. Okay, so I'm gonna do both variations as we go do the exercise. Once you are here, hands behind the head. You are going to think about elbows turning out, opening wide, so you are not hugging your hips. Okay, so your elbows are as wide away from each other as you can. You're gonna kiss the kneecap with one elbow and we're gonna switch. Alright, so make sure you are not rocking or hunching forward to do that. So if you're looking into a mirror, shoulder to shoulder should be one long line. So this line should be parallel to the mirror even as you do your tilt. Okay, we're gonna start from here. Ready, and we go. So we're gonna tilt. Eyes always gazing forward, chest open. And elbow to elbow, one straight line, so make sure you don't fold your elbow in. Alright, and make sure as you are going from side to side, you are not shifting your weight. So I'm not leaning on one butt cheek. Both of my butt cheek are equal weight at all times as I do my side bend obliques crunch. Okay, so I'm gonna work. If you can touch your knees in this position, you are working or crunching or contracting your side abs. Now, if you find that you can't keep your legs open, it's okay to bring them in closer, but just make sure your feet is flat or flex. Okay, just don't put like more weight on baby toe or more weight on big toe, and you do the same. Of course, you get a lot less stretch here. It feels a lot easier, but because of the limitation, you still want to make sure your body posture is not compromised as you are doing the work. So I really would like it if you are able to stretch your legs out. It's quite a different feel for your rest of the body, okay? So try to touch, really touch, and then lift. Alright, well done. Go on to the next exercise. Now the next exercise, I need you to kind of turn around. Your legs are hip width apart, palms, fingers pointing your butt, palms behind you, lift the chest. So this one is really important that you are not hunching. Okay, so I need you to lift the chest, slight arch. Make sure your fingers are pointing towards your butt, not pointing out or pointing away from you. From here, you're going to think about putting more pressure on the wrist, chest lifted, and you're going to bring one leg up, up and down, open and close. Okay, so you go up, down, open, close. Yeah, and we're gonna switch. We're going to do both legs so you don't get the pinch on your hip flexors. If you feel that your hip flexors, which is the muscle here, gets really tight and pain, then you go less. You bring your feet forward more so your heels are further away from your butt, and when you lift, the movement is lower so you don't go so high. Okay, so let's go. Lift chest, lengthen, lift, open, come back, lift, open, come back, straighten, up, down, open and close, come back, keep your lift, straighten, lift and lower, open and close, make sure you don't slack here, okay, so keep your lift, up and down, open and close, lift, straighten, up and down, open and close. When I teach extension in class, or sustained extension in class is usually a challenge for folks to keep themselves lifted. So what you want to do if you're doing this with me is every time your feet land, I want you to give a little push with your wrist or the heel of your wrist to make sure your body is in a sustained extension. We've got 13 more seconds to go. Straighten, up, down, open, close, come back. The other leg should be pretty stable, so don't move the supporting leg. Okay, lift, straighten, up, down, open and close. Lift, straighten, up, down, open and close. Alright, we're done. Now the next set, a little bit balancing act. Okay, you're gonna be in like a half plank position with your knees bent. Okay, so your elbow is under your shoulder and your wrist and elbows in one line, so it's like parallel to the edge of the mat. Knees and hip in one line, so it's also parallel to the edge of the mat. Okay, I need you to keep that top leg straight. So your top leg, the ankle, knee, hip, shoulder forms a nice diagonal line. And your elbow should be pressing into the floor to lift the ribs up. So this is wrong. Okay, so if you got a little curl on your underside, then that's wrong. Think about there's fire or flame under the ribs, so you keep this lifted. Okay, ideally from your neck to your elbow, there is no break. So when you sink like that, the shoulder pops out, so there's no straight line from my neck to my shoulder, to my elbow. So what happens is you are using your shoulder to stabilize and you get strain on the shoulders, you don't get to work your abs. Okay, so keep lifted. The other hand is gonna be up here. You're gonna think about just touching your knee or your shin and then land. Okay, touch and land. And we're gonna switch side. Ready? Keep your lift and we go. Kiss, lower. Just take note that the hips don't rock back as you touch. So keep the hips level. Keep your elbow pressing down. You can keep your palm open as well instead of a fist, whichever works happier for you. Okay, try to bring the leg high rather to bring your arms low. So this is cheating, okay? So your arm should be a nice line aligned with your collarbone and try to lift as high as you can. So for those with tight inner thighs or less flexibility, this also becomes a stretching work for you. Keep that lift. Make sure at no times you are sinking here, okay? So always remind yourself to keep the lift. It's nice if you can do this in front of a mirror to check that line. Nice long line from your neck all the way to your elbow. We're gonna go for last 12 seconds and then we will change side. Right, so try to touch the shin. If you can touch the ankles. And we're gonna go for last 2 and 1. Right, so we're gonna switch other side now. So elbow, under shoulder, wrist elbow one line. Fold your knees, so knee and hip one line. Stabilize, lengthen that top leg out. Right, so what we're gonna do is keep the lift, so nice long line. Ribs up, hands to the sky, and we're gonna kiss and land. So you might feel one side is tighter than the other. It's pretty normal. Just make sure you try your best and sustain the 1 minute. So the next time you do this exercise, take a note, okay? So write down. So next time you start this exercise, you start with the side that is harder or less flexible. Right? So just make sure halfway you don't start sinking down. Always keep the lift, then you move. So I always cue that in Pilates, stability is more important than mobility. So do not move unless you are stable. And do not move if you can't keep the stability. The stability is what works the core muscle. Okay? We've got 19 seconds to go. So if you find that you are not stable, I'd rather you rest, reset, engage, and then you go again rather than just rush through and finish the set, compromising your posture. Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. And we rest. For the next set, you're gonna be in all 4 positions. So wrist under shoulder, knee under hip. Right, so what you wanna do is to maintain equal pressure on 4 limbs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're not putting more weight on one side or the other. Lower back is not sinking. You see the creases on my top and my lower back? Yeah, so those are indication that you are sinking your back. So make sure you even out those creases. Lift the chest. Just need you to bring one arm up all the way to the butt and then straight arm forward. So it feels like you're drawing a big semicircle. Okay? We're gonna do one side and then we proceed to the other side. Lift and we go up, open all the way, touch the butt. all the way down. Now, if you find that when you come down and you are scraping your wrist on the mat, it means that you have sink on your supporting limb, and therefore this side is lower and you are scraping, okay? So both should be equal height, shoulder to shoulder should be equal height throughout, so you do not sink. And you can see that my palm graze happily just like the other palm. So there is no, if I sink, then this side will be a lot longer, okay? I have no space, okay? I will have to bend my elbow. Alright, so just keep that in mind, which means your abs, your supporting shoulder, for me now my left shoulder, is working hard. The other thing you want to take note is the other three limbs. So my two knees and my supporting arm has equal weight. So you're not putting more weight than the other. Now if the other side can't touch the mat, it also shows that you have synced to the other side. Okay, we're done. Now I'm just gonna go through the other side now. Okay. So when you're ready, aligned, equal weight first, and then we're gonna start. Bring it back, graze through. Okay, so when I put this hand here, it's the same arm length as the other side. But unless you know if you really have one arm longer than the other, if not, you should basically just graze through. And you don't want to cheat by bringing here. Yeah, so this is cheating. So go all the way, touch the hip, then go all the way down. Open all the way to the hip and down. Now when you are doing the exercise, try to gaze to the top of the mat or like 20 cm away from your hands, the supporting fingers, rather than looking to the side. Keep pushing your opposite shoulder or your supporting shoulder up to make sure you're not sinking on the shoulder. We've got about 15 more seconds to go. Open, down and up, open, down and up, open, down and up. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, and we're done. Okay, for the last two exercises, we will be on standing position. Alright, I just need you to think about bring one knee up. So legs hip width apart to start. Hands can be in a T or call it ballerina stand. You're gonna bring one knee up and lower, other side up and lower, okay? The challenge here is to be able to bring the knee as high as your hip. So you form like a nice right angle between your thigh and your shin. Alright, we're just gonna alternate our legs. So let's start. Okay, so hands in a T, legs hip width apart. You're gonna bring one leg up at a time. Now the challenge here is if you sink the body all to one side, this is wrong, this is wrong, it's wrong, okay? So if you find that you can't lift the knee to the hip height while sustaining your stability, you go lower. Okay, the knee don't need to lift so high. So even this is good, as long as the body is upright. Pilates focus on stability before mobility and definitely stability before range. So if you feel that you can't move, which is mobility, you have to focus on trying to keep yourself stable first. Keeping yourself stable is the engagement of the core. So if you can't engage your core, there's really no use for you to do the rest of the exercise. So if you can't, you go small. Okay, so if you feel that you can find stability, you can lift and return. The challenge is not to shift from side to side. Alright, so as much as you can, especially from a helicopter view maybe, I should not be swaying from side to side, okay, as minimum as possible. For those who are more advanced, last one, you're gonna bring your knee as high as you can and shift as little as you can, right? Okay, now the last exercise for this series, we're gonna go into knee bend. Knees are turned out, legs as wide, or rather 2 times or at least 1.5 times as wide as your waist. You want to bring both hands onto the floor as you bend one knee. So you're gonna sit your butt back, bend one knee, hands on the floor. And then you're gonna straighten, return your hip back to the center of 2 legs. Okay, so you're gonna bend and then return. Yeah, so the challenge here is to make sure you are not poking the knee forward, then you can't touch the floor. Okay, it will only be able to touch the floor if you sit your butt back to bend the knees. Okay, and some people may feel that I'm very inflexible, I can't touch forever. So what you want to do is you open your legs even wider, as long as you have grip. Okay, sit your butt back, then bend the knees. Definitely you will be able to touch. Okay, so I'm gonna turn around, face here. We're gonna go side to side though. So we're gonna bend right knee, then bend left knee. Okay, for 1 minute. Ready? Toes turn out. Sit back, bend, and return. Knees pointing out to the side. Sit back and return. And we switch. Okay, so your body is pretty much still in between two legs when you come back. So when you return, you don't shift to one side. Okay, so it's always in the center. Shift back. And make sure you're sitting your butt back. You should feel a stretch on the inner thighs of the leg that is fully straightened. Your knees are turning out and not turning in, so it's pointing out as you shift. We're gonna go halfway more and switch. And if you feel that you are a little bit dizzy, you can do what I'm doing now. Look and focus on one single point line. Look at the camera, so you don't look down, look up, look down, look up, you get dizzy, okay? So just focus either a point on the floor, so just look at the floor, or you can face the wall, whichever, or look at yourself, okay? Last one, and last set, and we're done. So we're done for this series.